We supposed to be starting. She's singing.
I am. I'm sharing it.
Are you live?
Yes. Wait, I was sharing it. Thank you very much. I have to hop on Twitter real quick so I can share it.
Okay.
Get you. Anyway.
I'll stand corrected, Miss E.
Gotta make sure I share it because
What's your Twitter?
I am E93 Robin. ROBIN. Okay. So yeah, y'all definitely tap in with me on Twitter if you're not tapped in with me on Twitter. Twitter is a whole nother world and I love it.
I just followed you.
That's an amazing place.
It is.
It is. Twitter gets everything first. I didn't believe it till I stayed on there as much as I did, and it's true.
Yeah. I need to share the link on you on Facebook already?
Yes. We live on Facebook as well, Pillow Talk Podcast. So if y'all are tuning in and you're wondering where the link is, it's on YouTube and it's on Facebook too. Y'all can tap in on YouTube as well. Robin Evette, EVETTE. That is stuck in my head. I love them.
What's that?
You like the internet?
Do I like the internet?
The group, the internet. You listen to me?
I don't even know who that is. I think someone just shared I think it was either you or Annalicia. Somebody had just shared a screenshot.
It was me.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah. But it didn't have any music playing, did it?
No.
Right, so I've never heard of them. I mean, I've heard of them, but never heard them.
Make sure you guys share this video if y'all tapping in. I gotta do the most, and share real quick because people act like they can't share their shit sometimes. So I'm gonna share my shit anyway.
I shared it. Oh shit!
You did it first.
I ignored my type shit. True. Damn, she already on.
I'm just playing.
She already on my ass.
I'm just playing. I am just playing.
Damn. If you're not if y'all tuned in, man, go check out Robin E and the Pillow Talk Podcast on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, YouTube, all of the above.
Okay. Now I'm sharing to all the groups. Shout out to Orchestration Radio. They always let me share my shit. Shout out to them.
What's up, y'all? My boy Louis tuned in. James, Mr. Cool Raul, all the way from Puerto Rico.
Okay, yes.
James Kenneth, all the way from the British, the UK. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we love the UK.
Yes, we love the British.
The British, we felt you. We felt what you were saying though. Shout out to all y'all that's tapping in right now, man. Welcome back to Pillow Talk. We're here on another episode. And I'm so excited to have my boy in the building.
Hi.
What's up, Zay Stone?
Hello.
Hello.
Pleasure to be here.
Don't be acting like that now. Don't be acting like that.
It's truly a pleasure. No,
but appreciate you for coming on here. This is, been a while. You were on here before. He was actually one of the first artists too that came on Pillow Talk Podcast. So I appreciate you for being a real one.
Yes. I've always been in great support of the Pillow Talk Podcast. Shout out Robin E. It was fun. I did get it. But that time I was like, let me switch it up. I was like, anybody ever interviewed you?
Yes.
She was like,
why'd you get on that? Why you get on that?
I like learning.
Okay.
I like learning and I like what you be doing, you know what I'm saying? And you definitely, You know what I'm saying? Got the looks, you know what I'm saying? It's always an all around pleasure to be around. You're welcome. So I was just curious to learn more about you, and I thought it'd be interesting because I know as a entrepreneur yourself, someone who hustles and grinds, um, I know how important it is for your people and your fan base to know who is behind what's being orchestrated, what's being put together. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that was something that added value to your channel.
Yes,
I'm
it
glad.
did.
I'm glad.
Thank you for that. It definitely
You're welcome.
did. I appreciate you. Shout out to a fresh culture, of course, for sliding
Yes,
through.
sir.
Just had him
Excellent,
on here.
excellent interview.
Just had him on here. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's dope.
that
Shout out
was
to him.
great.
Appreciate y'all for always tapping in. But yes, I got my boy Zay Stone in the building. You've been doing your thing though as well too. And for
Thank you.
those that may or may not know, he is also an entrepreneur. But I initially met you as an artist.
Yes.
So you've been doing a lot though in the years. It's been like a couple years. I met you like 2 years, I think.
Something like
Something
that.
something
Yeah.
like that. And you've like transformed. I feel like of being more than just an artist. That's dope.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um.
You better
Word
stop
do.
playing. You better stop playing. Okay.
So I'm not. So it's funny that people say that they like because when people meet me as an artist, I spent a lot of time getting good as an artist. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of hours. Like when people talk about 10,000 hours locking yourself in the basement, I was in my mom's basement making music. We've been doing this for a long time. I'm like 8 years in now. You know, maybe longer. I have to ask Zip. Cool Raul, how long we been doing this? How long we been doing this, Cool? Let's see if he's still all the way in Puerto Rico. He said, "Yo, music." He's like, "Where's the music?"
Oh, see, look.
Hold
Why
on.
is he- well,
How long we been doing? We've been doing this a point blank a long time. But anyway, I was like a nerd in high school. You know what I'm saying? I was always interested in certain things. I took AP Literature, AP Language, you know, in high school, and so that gave me like a little bit of. I hated writing, and I had a really great teacher, Mr. Philis, who put me on. But I say all that to say, like, my background goes very far. I've had all types of jobs, probably like 50 different jobs, you know. And so I've always been more than an artist, in my opinion. I think, like all human beings, our artistry is a part of us, but most times than not, we have different layers and different aspects to us. And so I think with entrepreneurship and social media, it's allowed me to put that out there more and in a way that more people want to perceive. I just start tweeting. I'd be tweeting all type of shit. So I'd be tweeting little nerdy facts and all type of little funny shit. And motherfuckers don't be feeling that shit. But when you see somebody doing like some glamorous shit on social media, oh, he owns a business, like even though that shit can be glamorous, but it's also hard work. You know, that's the shit they don't tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's funny when people say, "Oh, you transformed," and this. I really was able to expose more people that I had met through music to who I am. You know.
Well, we love it. We
Thank
love
you.
being able to see more of you, I guess you should say.
He says since knee high. That's how long we've been doing
Knee
it.
high. That's a long time. That's a long time. Well, we love seeing different sides of people, of course.
Thank you.
Always
Yeah.
inspiring, motivating. So just growing up for you initially, I know you said you kind of nerdy, getting into that thing, but did you always picture yourself like doing music and doing other things, being just a person of multiple, venues?
So when I was young, right? When I was real, real young, I was going through a lot of stuff in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like not being the coolest kid from up to like I didn't have no clothes, you know, like my parents didn't have a whole lot of money. When I was 9, my father got diagnosed with severe paranoid schizophrenia, you know what I'm saying? So he's been homeless and mentally ill for quite a long time, you feel me? But so I'm dealing with all this stuff from adolescence to like, you know, I'd say from like really from like 8 years old to, you know, being a teenager, growing up and all that stuff. The only way I was able to escape my reality without doing negative things to people was to be positive in my mind. You know what I'm saying? So I always pictured when I was listening to Lil Wayne, Ludacris, I always pictured myself being in that position. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I was able to just stay positive. I created like this false world around me in a way, you know, just like this good world, but just always just felt good about who I was and where I was going. So like I always pictured myself. I remember when I was real young, I was like, you know, when I turned 21, there was this line from New York at the Brooklyn Circus. and it was like just like fresh clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like if you look like a newspaper boy, but imagine like a little bit more fancy, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if they're still around. I think they went more hip, like more modern and shit with their shit. But anyway, so I was like, I'm gonna be dressing like that when I'm 21, you know? And it's funny because music is the one thing that I think held me back from doing that as far as my appearance. I wanted to dress. I grew dreads. You remember? I had dreads. You know what I'm saying? I believe in some spiritual things along with all of that as well, but neither here nor there. But yeah, I would dress more hip hop and more, you know what I'm saying? And to me, that shit just gets old. It's real overpriced. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at these billionaires, millionaires, you know, whatever, and they some of them outdo it. Conor McGregor, he be wearing some $2,000, $5,000 suits, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, people be just humble, you know. And so like I feel like hip hop fashion culture, I should say. Yeah, not hip hop in general, because there's a lot of different types of hip hop, but hip hop fashion culture is just very like flaunted. You know what I'm saying? Just so it took me as I got older. You know, I'm 29 now, so as I got older, I kind of fell from that and came back to once I started dressing a little bit more. You know how I want to be, how I want to represent myself. That's when it hit me like, damn, I used to want to dress like this. You know what I'm saying? It took me a longer time than I was probably like 26 when I started wearing dress shoes again. And it's the last 3 years. But from, when that kid that was like 21, I'm 7 years late. You know what I'm saying? That's how I saw it. Like, damn, like you just now getting back on track to what you were saying, what you going to be, So I always envision myself just as a successful individual. It still helps me to this day. Anytime I'm going through something, like just having had to reframe my mind to just seeing things in a positive light, it's just something that now is more natural. It doesn't take as much, like even self-care really to feel where I'm supposed to be at, because it's just my thought process. I've been working on that for a long time, So yes, I've always seen myself where I am and where I plan to be, for sure.
Facts. I know that's right.
Yeah.
You always knew it was gonna be like this.
Yeah, always knew. I don't know if that's a song, but motherfuckers should make one.
Okay.
Yo, I started hitting a little rhythm.
Okay.
I'm like,
I don't know. No, but I like that though. That's very inspiring, and I think that's dope that you just kind of broke it down. Just this whole persona when it comes to fashion and how yes, it is the cycle of being like washed up after a while, and people don't really know who they are sometimes in that persona. So I feel like you've always been somebody that's like stay true to themselves, and you haven't been someone that I've seen kind of following the crowd or just kind of blending in.
I start shit. I'm the originator of a lot of shit. Me and my boys, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing this rap shit for a long. Shout out my nigga Zipper Buka. You know what I'm saying? That man, he live in Florida now, but he's like 12 years in. He put me on to the music, and he's a very like self-oriented individual. He's like, I'm gonna record it myself, I'm gonna make the beat myself, I'm gonna mix it myself, I'm gonna write the shit, and he has some really dope shit out there that everybody should really check out. And I don't like to hype up artists because they're my friends. I have a lot of friends that are talented, but Zipper, he's definitely something special for sure. But yeah, so I don't even know where the fuck I was going with that.
That's okay.
I just started,
that's
my boy.
Let us know if y'all didn't hear some fire music.
But yeah, for real. But
I like that.
On some originating shit, like I was the first one, shout out to people who continue to shit, but I was the first one doing the shows in Lake County. I was the first one doing a lot of shit. I putting myself out there with the professional cameraman. Shout out my boy Nico, you know what I'm saying? Invested in my image in the way that I now a lot of people kind of follow suit, but how could you not, because I got it from somebody, at the end of the day. But I'm aware, and I don't do it on no cocky shit, but when niggas get some negative energy towards me, I'll be like, hold on now, type shit. So
that's okay. Motherfuckers don't like to get their flowers all the time, but
not
that's
all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, type shit. And if you didn't know, okay. Yeah, crazy.
Now you know. Well, I mean, it's definitely been a big like circuit lately of more people performing in Lake County and stuff like that as well. But still, I think that your sound is different from a lot of other people. Recently, I feel like you kind of were working on a lot of your other, business plans and things like that. So you did recently do a show that I was a part of, and you had some new music that you was performing. You was kind of getting a feel for the audience. So what's the vibe of your music right now? If you have to kind of describe where you're at with the music, what would you say?
Two things. Me, That's the vibe. It's me. You know what I'm saying? The more I learn about myself, the more I'm able to articulate that in the music. You know what I'm saying? And be more raw in the music rather than like a thought process. Like I'm aware of what I'm feeling and who I am, and so I'm gonna portray that and put that on into the music. So as far as sound, that's where I'm at with it. As far as like releasing and shit, I do have one song that I'm gonna release called "Harder." I played it at that show. That was the song that everybody had picked. So I'm gonna stick to my word and make sure I release it. I don't know when, you know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna drop it soon. Probably next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, somewhere in there. But other than that, I'm just doing what feels right. I'm not trying to release a bunch of music. I'm working on getting my capital together. I don't want to be in a non-advantageous position as far as a deal or anything like that, especially with all the resources that are out there today. But it comes at a price all the time, and it's either your time or it's your money. And I'd rather gain experience in other areas at this time while I make the money and still dabble in. Like that show is great for me because I haven't performed in a while, but that is what makes my soul happy. I love doing that. So it was a great time. Some people, oh, that little shit. For me, it's like it's where I grew up at. Number one, it's right down the street. I'm not spending no money for real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was buying everybody drinks, but that's neither here nor there. I still spent way less than if I would have went to the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you feel me? It's ooh. But it was a good time. So that's where I'm at with the music and just in general.
I like that. I think I'm used to seeing you, I guess, do more of the music stuff. So I had to just ask for myself, where he was at with it. But I enjoy seeing you, dabble in the other stuff. And that's real shit.
Yeah.
Why not invest the time in making the money right now and just kind of have that flexibility? So I feel that.
Yeah. And I know the sound is different. So I feel like ROI is really important in business, and whatever you're investing in, whatever you're putting money into, what is your return on that investment? And some things have a delayed return, like such as a music career or developing a business from the ground up with not a lot of capital. Anything like that has a delayed gratitude, but you get the gratitude from the small wins. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think I'm high as hell.
Oh my god.
I'm high as hell. Ooh, and this wine getting to me. I feel great though. But
Oh shit. Anyway.
yeah, my ass got brain stuck.
Anyway, that's all right. So right now in music, I do feel like it's just a lot of like the same type of shit that's going on.
Yeah.
People kind of mixing and everything like that. So if you had to just kind of sum it up right now, how you feeling about the music scene as a whole? You feel me? Do you have a certain genre? Do you have a certain artist that you really fucking with? You're not really fucking with? Like, what's your take right now on the music scene?
The overall music scene?
Yeah, the overall, how you feeling everything right
now? I like it.
Okay.
It's cool, Artists, I listen to every great artist, and there's a lot of them in my mind because they're great at just being themselves. But I more so try to listen to things that are taking me where I want to go. So like honestly, I don't listen to a lot of rap.
Okay.
If I do, I'll check out some songs or people be playing it. I don't hate anything.
Okay.
But I listen to a lot of like classical music, for real. A lot of shit that's more I don't know, just better for the brain. Like we as rappers and shit like that, like motherfuckers love talking about things that just really aren't good for us. You know what I'm saying? Shit that really ain't gonna help us at all. And that's what's commercial now, that's what sells.
Yeah.
Little kids thinking, So it's like the rap music scene, I think it's kind of fucked up. But there's people that are doing it right, like J. Cole and etc. But not my concern, but my thing is like they got in still through the record label route, and that's really not really the move no more, in my opinion. So it's like that's like some slave master shit. Most people aren't getting deals unless they have leverage.
But you know what? A lot of people, are starting to see more now, like the benefit. J. Cole been out for a while though.
Yeah, a long time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't just throw me under the bus like that. I'm like, hold on. Wait.
That's what okay. But he came over through the label route,
He did.
And it's like that always is gonna get you, especially he's dope. If you're dope, you're gonna get that commercial success with that type of revenue behind you, in the marketing. So, but I think it's cool. I'm excited for where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I I feel like there's always like a reset in a lot of shit. So the more ignorant this shit get, like not everything, but the more ignorant this like the commercial shit get that they keep trying to push, motherfuckers going like, all right, I'm tired of this,
Shit's fucked up. No, I feel that though.
And then by then I'm gonna have 2 mil,
Okay.
and I'm gonna just put my shit out there like that.
And you just gonna be like,
yeah,
I got the money and the content,
so I don't need no label.
Yeah,
I'll just do.
But that is the move. Like, you're not lying. Shanti just got her master's back and stuff. And she's been out forever. And it's like, it took you this long to realize you needed that shit yourself.
Yeah, right.
So,
but back then it was just different. There was no internet.
But it's the point of her doing it now.
Yeah.
Anita Baker, all these artists that are, seeing the value now after years or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you ain't lying. That's the way to go, like, for sure.
Yeah, facts. Sure. So that's, I don't know. I just feel like it's all God's timing. Mm-hmm. And like, as my life has been pieced together in the ways that it has, like, I'm sure you have revelations, like damn, I had this one class back in elementary school and it's just is helping me right now in doing whatever I'm doing, just as an example. But that shit happens to me all the time, like certain math and little shit. I just like, damn, I'm grateful for this certain experience, So I feel like that's how things gonna piece together, type shit. Everybody was laughing at me when I.
Damn, they ain't shit. They ain't shit. Fuck y'all. Y'all ain't shit. Shout out to Young Shy for tuning in as well. Make sure you share this video. No, but the scene is different now for sure. And being your own boss, being independent, figuring out your own way to go through things, that's definitely the way to go. Like, there's just no other way around it. Yeah. So let's get into your businesses because you are a businessman as well. Doing your thing. So we love that.
That's the business dance.
That's the business dance. So you do have 2 businesses, your branding business as well, and then is it
Dream Builders?
Oh, I'm sorry, Dream Builders Shop, Dream Builders Chicago.
Yeah.
So both super, super dope, by the way, y'all. Make sure y'all check them out. IG, they have pages as well. Super dope. So how did you start? Which one started first, I should say? Which one did you start first?
Reach.
Branded by?
Branded by Reach. Mm-hmm. That's the Instagram tag, at Branded by Reach. I don't post much. Mm-hmm. It's just not a necessity. That's something that once I hire somebody or have the time to start scheduling the shit, that's what I would like to do. Mm-hmm. The same marketing that we do for customers, I'd love to do for ourselves, but I don't do it yet, But you can definitely check me out or just check out my personal page at Real Zay Stone. I'm always posting like stories and little shit, but Reach started first. I just wanted to start a business. I had have 2 dope friends that are very talented in their own right. One of them is a coder. He does like websites and shit. Right now he's in soft development for BlockFi, which is like the trading app. Oh, okay.
No, educate us. No.
BlockFi is a cryptocurrency trading app. It's also a wallet. You can link a wallet. Like if you have a physical wallet of crypto, you can link it to BlockFi.
Like, I know crypto.
It's kind of like what is Coinbase? Okay. BlockFi is similar to Coinbase, but not as mainstream and more secure. And so he works for them now. And so he moved to the city. So that's why it hasn't been a focus of mine. Number one. Number two, it's just it's hard you have to really sell that product. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a salesman. I don't like I can sell. I have sales experience, but I don't like selling people on shit. Trying to like, if you don't naturally want it, I really don't want to sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Hard, though, for real.
Yeah, like if you really don't want it, like Dream Builders, which is my second business after Reach, which gave me, in my opinion, the experience I needed to develop a business. Like I had a customer, a client, amazing client. We had a lot of clients, but this one specific client, we actually did consulting for, and we like revamped their whole interior, did a little remodel. We were doing marketing for them, developed some photos, videos, visual media with my boy Nico. We created their website. My boy Louis did that. And but through all of that process and then all the other, marketing clients that we had, brand development clients that we had, that taught me a lot about business, a lot about brands and strong brands and all that, because these are things that I had a gist for. But if I wanted to perform at what I was charging for it, I had to get better. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so that's what Reach was for me personally. It was just like a crash course on everything that I think matters most in business. Okay. The money and all that shit, that matters most. but without sale, process, understanding processes are very important in anything. If you can't regulate a business, then you're never going to be hands free from it. And it's never going to be passive income. It's always going to be you hustling for money. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot through Reach, and I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for my business partners on that, and I want them to have the most success. They're both killing it in what they're doing. I might close it and just be freelance, just do branding and contract them for whatever is needed. I have another website guy. He's great. Hans, Kendall, obviously, DJ Ken's.
Yeah, DJ Ken's, yeah.
Hans does some stuff with them and Peasy and all of them. So he's a good guy. So I do use him for a lot of the website stuff. But yeah, so I might just do it as like a side hustle. It's just all types of random shit being charged on our account. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Like the other day, like $251 for some shit. But like my card is linked to so many different things. Okay. I'm just like, I don't even know, So I might just close that motherfucking bank account. Because
they don't PPP,
no, hell no, nothing like that. But yeah, so it was just, you funny as hell. PPP. I wish I could have got some shit like that. I wasn't taking that risk. The PPP. But yeah, Dream Builders, that's my business now. We do remodeling. Really, we give people homes of their dreams. You know what I'm saying? We take any living space. We consult with the customer. We say, what are you looking to do? What do you want to do? What are you interested in? We give fair pricing. Okay. We need to get better at pricing because, like, there's some things that it'd be like some expensive-ass flooring with 3 different fucking sizes. I'm like, I only charge this shit should have been all the same size. So I'm like, I lost a few bands on that, Okay.
It's a learning process.
But I told her, I was like, look, I'm not going to overcharge you. I'm just letting you know, make sure we allot for another day or two because this is some tedious stuff. But yeah, so it's great, honestly. Seeing the looks on people's faces when we deliver the product, when we finish painting a room, and just like everything. We try to do everything at a gold standard. You know what I'm saying? So it's gotten us very, very far. I started focusing on this business in June. I mean, we'll talk after air about the revenue that was created because I put that shit out there. But it's been a great year. You know what I'm saying? And it's only been half the year. So I'm excited for what the future has. I'm more excited because I'm able to provide opportunity to others. Yeah. Hiring people, putting bread in their pocket, they feeding their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a very gratifying thing. And I'm excited to be able to offer full-time hours and be so booked for, years and have people be able to have reliable work and a reliable income source for their families. Like that's what I'm excited about with this business mostly. The money is going to be great. It'll allow me to invest into other things that I'm working on, whether business ideas, the music, etc. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love it every day. I wake up. It's tiring,
Yeah.
I told you about my day yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like from 7, 8 in the morning ish to 9 p.m. Just hustling, whether it's working, sending estimates, going to estimates, meeting customers. And but if you're willing to hustle and you're willing to be humble and just like try to learn as much as you can from every single person, like that's probably the most valuable thing, and that's how you learn the fastest. If you could pay attention to everybody versus just like one little thing, you're gonna learn more and more different perspectives, different understandings. I just spark conversations with every motherfucker that I kind of can, ask questions. Yeah.
I like that though. That's super dope. I think that's amazing. I mean, dream builders who don't want a dream home, obviously.
Type
who
shit.
just want their own dream home.
What's up, my
so
people?
Is there like a certain,
my dog?
Is there a certain like qualifications that you need from customers? Do you take anybody as clientele? Certain people you want to work with right now?
So I have a lead generation source. Okay. So I'm on a few different services and things, and so I'm able to kind of hand select the type of jobs that I want. I'm able to select the areas and regions of the state or of the county that I want to focus on. So you just have to have something that I do that you need done. And be patient with flexibility because we're booked months out. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't do too many small jobs unless it's like right down the street or for a good friend or something like that. It's just not really, everything right now is like 5-figure deals or more, So like that's where I want to focus my time on. And that's how I'm going to be able to reach my goal of providing more more time and job opportunities. You know, I can't
Right.
be doing small shit and
Yeah.
sending people everywhere. Like I would love to offer handyman services with my business. I've done a few just to see how it goes, see how the money is. It could be good money, but in order to have a team environment, we do big paint jobs. We do flooring. We do finished carpentry, baseboards, trim, crown molding. We do painting. I mean,
And you
really
have a
all
whole
type of
team
shit.
that does all of
Yeah,
this.
yeah. We have two guys right now. I had four guys at one point. Had to fire one.
Oh,
One, one had some started having some car issues, so he's out the picture. The other one broke his arm,
Ow.
or broke his hand or something like that. So he has like 2 more weeks to heal, and then he'll be back. And then I've been having me and this one guy, and we just been busting shit out, just going crazy. He's a hard worker, you know what I'm saying. I'll take him to lunch, make sure because he's on training, so I pay him where his training. He never did none of this before,
Wow.
but he's a hard worker. He works overnight. He works overnight from like 10 p.m. You feel me? And then comes to work with me. And he be going crazy, you know. So
are you hiring more people? People just hit you up. What's the you know what I'm saying? People might need a job. They might need to get in contact.
Yeah. I would say just get on my social media, stay in tune with me. I like the guy where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? And we're cruising through this project. So it's very good. We're doing carpentry right now. And carpentry is usually a carpenter and a laborer.
Okay.
So me and him for this is perfect. Once I start scaling up on the paint jobs, that's when I'll start having more people, you know. But lately I've just been landing like complete remodels. We have another one in November that we're doing, November 1st. That'll last pretty much till like the 22nd, 23rd. And we'll see what's after that. I have a couple pending.
You booked up. You
Type shit, you know.
You
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yes, I love to hear it. It's the booked and busy for me. Okay, shout out to Frederick Boone. What's up, bro? He said blessings, bro. Much love.
My dog.
He said he has evolved. He kind of late, but that's all right. We kind of talk about that. Shout out to you, Frederick.
You have to run it back.
Okay. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Of course, shout out to everybody that's tuned in as well. Make sure y'all share this video as well because we still got the trivia, okay, of course, to get to. And I got some other questions that I want to ask you as well.
Okay.
So I'm happy you broke down your business. I was really intrigued to know, the buildup of that. So that's really dope. You like self-taught, kind of doing the thing, and that's really dope. So if you do outsource more people and you do a job posting, let me know so I can post.
Okay, we'll do.
People decide to do that.
Yeah.
So with everything that you do you have a mentor, somebody that you really, really look up to, to kind of help you make a lot of these decisions or just kind of guide you along this process?
Yeah, by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? I got a few very important people. The first is my mom, you know what I'm saying? She does help me. She has helped me. She's more so helped me like personal shit, as I'm getting older, just being able to talk with me when I might have been low as a teenager or whatever, put some bread in my pocket, you know what I'm saying? Just spread the love, at all times. Make sure my friends can come over and they got food to eat, you know what I'm saying? And we got a safe place to be, so on top of that, she's a single mom from the south side of Chicago, and she graduated from Marquette with her bachelor's in engineering.
Nice.
So she was an engineer.
Ooh, she's smart.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a hard ass major, y'all, for real.
And she works at the largest testing or compliance company in the world. It's a multi-billion-dollar company called Underwriters Laboratories, or UL. If you drive on the highway to the city, I'm sure you might see it on the right. It has, whatever. But it's also every single little electronic you might have, a microwave. There's a circle that says UL. And that means it's been tested. It's safe. It's not going to shock you if a thunderbolt hit the house or something like that. It has protection capacitors and little pieces in there to protect you, make sure you're good. So that's what they do. And so she's been working for them for like 20, 30 plus years, whatever. But she used to take me to work with her. So I'm seeing this this nice ass building, all these cubicles, all these people working. And then I had an internship there when I went to Purdue for electrical engineering for a year and a half. And then I dropped out. But while I was there, I took an internship at UL, so I got to work there. She plugged me, but I was killing all the engineers. I'm setting up test over here, test over here, test over here, just grinding, And so I was like, this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what was it? You going crazy. What was it? And he was like, no, I'm not.
Because it's such a big thing and I'm playing such a small part in it. It wasn't for me.
Okay.
You know, like that's cool for some people to get paid to do some monotonous shit, you know,
Yeah.
but that's not me. I'm an originator, I'm an innovator. If you ever taken a personality test, I'm a logician. Like that's how my mind works. And so like people that they would compare me to are like Einstein, Bruce Banner, the Hulk, you know what I'm saying? Like people like that. Low key kind of crazy, you feel me? But like obsessive, you know what I'm saying? Like just obsessive over learning and expressing and innovating, you know. So like being in a lab, that wasn't for me.
It wasn't cutting
It
it
was
for
a
you.
cool experience, you know. But due to those experiences, that shit really helped me and has really encouraged me over my life. And now she's a great sounding board. You know, she helps me with my kids. And like I had to get over some things from being a kid. So once I had therapy and everything like that, our relationship has really grown. And she always says her piece, and it's always out of love. You know what I mean? And so I look up to her a lot. You know, that's like the big the original inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Seeing her graduate. Then not too long ago, like 4 years ago, I want to say, she graduated with her master's. You know, she ain't stopped. You feel me? So she just yeah. So that's OG for sure.
Yes.
And then all my homies.
Okay.
You know, if there's one that sticks out specifically, is my guy Austin Patinato, AP. Good guy, white dude from Libertyville. You feel me? But he didn't have it easy. You know, he's been through some shit, you feel me, to say the least. And but he runs a successful construction company out in Tennessee. And when I first met him, I was doing studio sessions, selling weed, you know, on some little shit. He threw $20 in my pocket. You know, he's just like, hey man, here, you know, just own that. I'm like, what the fuck? You know? But I was like, all right, I feel you. And we just always connected. And he's an executive personality type. We didn't know that back then, but it's just certain things about people like that that you just tick, you know. And so we developed a long-standing relationship. We've done business together, all that type of shit. And yeah, so when he goes out there, he starts his business. I started in commercial framing. I had a job for a little while.
You did a lot.
Yeah, so that's one of the jobs that I had, and that's how I got my main experience when it came to like construction. That's how I got like the breakthrough for me, you know. But yeah, so when I was in commercial framing, he was building his own company, like similar to what I'm doing now, out in Tennessee. And so he's just, how do I put it? A mentor, in my opinion, is someone who, in a way, shape, or form, is where you want to be, you know? And it may not be somebody that knows they're mentoring you. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
And so I just always did my best to try and sow seeds into his life, seeds of wisdom and just everything. He had me come out there and work with him a couple times. I've had a job before. I've worked construction before. But to see somebody open up their business a little bit to me, give me a peek of what it's like, and then my cocky ass, not even cocky, but extremely confident and well-versed in a lot of different things, I'm telling him shit he could do to improve his business. And he's like, who the fuck are you thinking like? You know what I'm saying? But I was on that, you know, and that's just how our relationship is. But when I started my company and he started seeing the things that I was doing, he's like, oh, I see. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're talking about, you know. And I think it's humbled both of us a little bit, you know. But yeah, he's just a great guy. Anytime I can call him, I'll be in the middle of a certain aspect of this job. I call him. I'm like, hey, you busy? You got a minute? He's like, yeah, what's up? He'll be on the job. You hear behind him and shit. His ass going crazy. And he would always be a sounding board. He'd always listen. He always give some good advice. He'd just be on some like, what you need? You know what I mean? All the time, just looking out. He knows what I'm trying to do. He knows why I'm trying to do it, why I am doing it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so those are the two, you know what I'm saying, that as far as mentors. Yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out to the mentors out there.
Type
Okay.
shit.
Shout out to your mama for one.
Yeah.
Shout out to the moms out there. Mom, I love you.
Love you, mom. I'm kicking you and shit.
Shout out to the moms. But no, that's really dope. I love that because they're two, like, I mean, different, you know, spectrums when you're talking about mentors, like on the scale. So that's important to not, you know, kind of know if you have somebody in your life that really kind of gave you that structure, you know, somebody you can depend on. That's dope.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now,
it's a blessing.
Let's get on the trivia. I've been grilling you, you know, going in with the questions. Y'all know let's do my trivia. So don't y'all help him, okay? Don't help him. You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. Okay.
I'm just playing. It's not hard.
Okay.
Black trivia, you got it. First question. What record label was Carl Thomas signed to?
Carl Thomas?
Yeah.
Motown?
No. So Emotional. You don't know Carl Thomas, So Emotional?
Next. No, who is he signed to?
So Emotional.
That's a label?
So emotional, and I can't let it
Oh,
go.
yeah.
And he had the submarine. And he had the song with Faith Evans. He was signed to Bad Boy, by the way.
Bad Boy. What?
Shout out to Carl Thomas, man. He's one of the forgotten R&B legends of the mid '90s. He needs his flowers.
Carl Thomas. See, I know about Diddy.
You search Carl Thomas, Diddy gonna pop up. But definitely Carl Thomas. Y'all check him out. Next question.
I feel like I'm gonna do terrible.
It's okay.
We off to a terrible start.
Which house party was TLC in?
Oh, my back. You hear that? That shit felt good. I'm gonna crack my back. All right. Which house party was TLC in?
Yep.
I don't know.
You didn't watch none of the house parties?
It's 3 of them, right?
Yep.
Right. So I'm sure I have, but like.
No, it's 3.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Take a guess. We like guess words too.
3.
Yes. Look at you. Damn. Look what happens when you apply yourself, people. Apply yourself. Yes, they were in 3.
I went off a whim.
Sex as a Weapon was their name in House Party 3.
Sex as a Weapon.
Okay. Next question.
That sound promiscuous.
That was their name. Sex as a Weapon.
That sound dangerous.
Watch it. That was their name though. Rest in peace. House Party 3. Okay, next question. Ooh, you should get this. What show is Ashley Banks from?
Ashley Banks. Oh, that's Jamie Foxx show. Right? No? Ashley Banks. Oh,
Philip Banks, Hillary Banks.
Oh shit. Fresh Prince of
Yes.
Why am I thinking of who's the girl that worked the front Fancy.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Damn. Fancy? No, that's fine. Yeah, I tweaked that. Ashley Banks, motherfucker.
I'm like, Banks? No. Yes.
Hey, I've been drinking. Smoking a little something too. Okay.
Name Kanye's first album.
I hope it's The Graduation. I don't even know. Oh, duh.
Tis.
It's been a long day.
It's all right.
Miss E.
Blame it on the day. Blame what you need to do.
It's okay.
Blame it.
I'm just not good enough. That's the cold hard truth. I'm just not good enough. It's all right. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm good at other things.
Okay,
I'm good at other stuff.
Trivia.
Other things.
Last trivia. Who was on Dilemma with Nelly?
What the fuck is Dilemma? Oh, I'm thinking of a movie. I'm like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We drinking movies now. Watching movies now. This is great Pinot Noir. It's because I didn't eat. I had some tortilla chips and hummus on the way here. All I had was lunch today. You got to give me a break. You feel me? I literally stopped at the store to grab it. I'm going to grab a snack. I should have brought that shit in here. I was like, I ain't going to be over here munching on the mic. This nigga banging some shit.
I wouldn't let you eat it. I would have. I ate. Best believe I ate.
Type shit. I'm going to eat after this.
You give up?
Dilemma.
Who's on Dilemma song with Nelly? No matter what I do,
it's a rapper.
Is you. Even when I'm with my I'm crazy.
And I know the song.
No matter what
I do. I know the song, but
who was singing the damn song, Jay? God damn. I'm gonna give you a hint. Little hint. I'm gonna give you a hint. This is how nice I am. I'm gonna give this Negro a hint. Destiny's Child is the hint. Who from Destiny's Child was on the Damn Dilemma
Beyonce?
song with Nelly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Beyonce? What's her name? It's already C or some shit.
It's Kelly Rowland, y'all.
Oh.
Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland.
I'm a sad human being.
He said you are bombing. Absolutely, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely one of the worst trivia
it's all right.
people on here.
I'll
but it's all right.
Cheers to that.
We're gonna bypass that. We're gonna bypass that. So anywho. Aside from you just, doing your business and everything in your music, you do speak a lot of positivity, I feel like, online.
I can't believe I just went 1 for 4 on that motherfucker. That's crazy.
You did.
Caught me on the wrong day. No, that probably would have been any day.
It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
It's all right. That's why it's trivia.
Yeah.
It's to get you.
It's a pop quiz
It's to get you.
of anything in the world.
But no, you speak a lot of positive stuff. Aside from that, you're always posting positivity and just staying focused, things like that. So somebody asked me, well, I didn't say asked me, but they brought up the whole concept of men don't really have like self-care. And so I was like, who would be a great person to talk with us about?
Oh,
you.
Really?
So what do you do for self-care? What's a self-care thing that a man does? You can't say physical as far as like go to the gym, basketball, because that's still physical exertion to an extent. What is something that you do as a man for self-care?
Okay, first of all, men have testosterone, women have estrogen. Doing things that can increase your estrogen are things that help women. So working out is a thing that increases testosterone in men. So why wouldn't that be something that is applicable?
So is that your only answer?
No.
Okay.
But can I? Okay. Damn, she on my ass, y'all. So that's a big one for me. It helps mentally, you know what I'm saying? Especially with all the shit that my dad been through. I always want to make sure my mental health is good. So that's number one. Number two, taking myself out. I go out to eat. I have a restaurant background, so I do like nice restaurants, you know what I'm saying? So, and sometimes that shit be expensive when you go with friends or you take a girl or you do any of that shit. Not that I do have time for most of that. I go out with friends, you know what I'm saying? But I wish I had a girl to take out to a nice dinner, you know what I'm saying? But that's not a fucking hint. No, but I love it. I love popping a nice bottle of wine or getting a couple glasses of some shit, trying it. That's how I've learned a lot about wine. It's about trying wine. And then I think from then on, aside from like taking yourself out, doing whatever you think is enjoyable, whether it's taking yourself out to bowling, any of that shit, I feel like at that point it becomes deeper on like who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are the things that make you tick? You know, so like me doing a show every once in a while, that I consider that a little bit of self-care. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go out drinking, I don't consider that self-care because the next day I feel like shit. But if I drink at a show and I'm around good energy, good people, have a good time, I'm not really that. I don't feel like nothing the next day. I feel great. I feel like I'm living my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Not doing something that's outside of my purpose, which is like getting overly fucked up out of my mind, spending too much bread, any of that shit. So, more I learned about myself, that's when I was able to learn more about what do I like doing aside from those first two things, So, but taking yourself out is huge. Learning about yourself, loving yourself. If there's something that like if there's something that that makes you feel bad, that's about yourself. I feel like loving yourself is doing what you can to improve on that. Like you can love yourself as who you are, right? Whether it's your body, whether it's your habits, whether it's any of those things, you can love yourself as who you are. But if you really love yourself, you're going to motivate yourself to get up out of that, you know what I'm saying? To make yourself feel better. The more that I do that improves my life, the better I feel. You know what I'm saying? So why am I not going to keep pushing and keep doing what I need to do to make sure I stay, number one, in that mindset and not doing things that distract me from that mindset? But number two, just actively wanting to pursue, you know what I'm saying, what it is that I'm doing type shit. So like that's what I think is like the deepest, like I think that's like the deepest level of self-love is just always doing not what's best for you, because people take that so selfishly. You feel
Yeah.
me? What's best for you? Oh, what's best for me is going to go fuck with this dude or fuck with this girl or go like just having this like I don't give a fuck attitude. But you really like are probably just dealing with some shit or never dealt with some shit, and so you created habits and you think that that's what makes you feel good. You know, if it's drinking consistently and getting fucked up and not that's never the answer. You know, that means you're trying to escape from something. You feel me? So like self-love for me was like I used to be a big drinker. You know, I was going through a lot of shit, started partying in high school, never was really too big into drugs, didn't start smoking weed till later on, you know what I'm saying? But would drink like a motherfucker. And that shit became a habit. Caught a DUI in 2016. Some crazy shit was on the news, like blessed to be alive type shit, you know what I'm saying? Spent a lot of money on a lawyer and everything like that. And like so for me, it was like, how do I love myself if I continue doing these things that put me in bad positions?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's obviously a drastic one. But even like being with people that don't really love me, you know, how do I love myself if being around this person really makes me feel like this? You know, how do I love myself if I continue to allow that and continue to, and, you know, rather than lash out, no, I have to go do what I got to do to make myself really feel good.
Yeah.
Not feel good, not
Right.
feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like type shit.
Okay, I'm gonna drink to that. Cause period. I'm gonna drink to that. Because we need to hear that sometimes from the male. You understand? Like it's this whole like war that goes on, you know, and there's always this notion that men don't get to like speak on themselves, they don't get to elaborate their feelings, they don't get to really do something that's just for them to make them feel good. And that's important, you know. You gotta change the narrative.
Go
of,
fucking
you know,
axe throwing.
Happy wife, happy life, happy spouse.
Everybody.
You know. But just you know, you being your own happy person to yourself.
Exactly.
Like that's a very big thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Motherfucker be happy wife, happy life. But it's like my opinion on a relationship is two people being happy and bringing that wholeness into something to build upon that. If one perfect person is broken, you're trying to fix.
Yeah.
You're not building.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It takes a fixed foundation to be able to build something, anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's it for me. You know. Like,
I agree.
Type shit.
And you can't depend on somebody else to create the happiness that you're yearning.
Yeah, at all.
You know, if you're depending on happiness and somebody else is the only source of that happiness, you got to check your shit.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be able to make yourself happy with or without somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and people just don't know how to be genuinely happy alone. Like, I don't mind being in relationships. I was in a relationship, whatever, and it just didn't work out. And I was just like, cool, I got shit to do. It's not fuck niggas, you know, niggas ain't shit. It was just like, I got shit to do. And I genuinely make myself happy by doing things that I like to do. Mm-hmm. So I just always wonder, like, for men, because we don't really talk a lot about what do men do for them. You know, it's always about men making a woman happy or living up to an expectation or just dealing with shit. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, I'm sure some men, for them, it makes them feel good to take their girl out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a relationship, you know, whatever, like you got a family, doing family events. I'm sure that, you know what I'm saying? And that makes me feel good. I love taking my kids out and things like that. But that's still also involving other, you know what I'm saying? It's not a self-care. So like, that's what makes my spirit happy. That helps motivate me being around my kids. But it's like making sure I take at least like one night a month or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? I hire a cleaning lady, you know what I'm saying, to make sure I'm living in a clean space. Like if I don't have the time to do it, okay. Well, if I don't have the time, that must be because I'm making money. Mm-hmm. And if I'm making money, then I need to make sure that I leverage that money to make sure I have peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? And so I pay a cleaning lady. She comes like once every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? My boy Nico put me on. You know, he was on that. You feel me? And I'm like, hell yeah. So like shit like that, like just understanding like when I wake up and everything's everywhere, I wake up in a cluttered mindset. You know what I'm saying? So that's big for me. I finally have like my own space for the first time in a long time, because you know, me and my ex were together for a while, living together on and off, and then I was renting from a homie at one point, which was cool. I had my own room and all that shit, but it wasn't the same, you know. So now me and my sister have a nice big ass motherfucking, not a condo, but it's a nice apartment, you know. And I love being able to spend time with her, rekindle our relationship from everything that we've been through as kids, you know. So it's a blessing, you know. But I'm able to decorate, put those shit on the wall that I want, you know, little shit, you know, like how do I want it? You know, I ain't gotta
Yeah.
ask no girl, no woman, no woo something, and I'm having a blast. You know, so like even those little wins for me, you know, it's just like I had to start setting boundaries for myself. That's a form of self love and self care. You know,
Absolutely.
and then I think the last thing for real that I learned from my therapist is mind, body, spirit.
Mm.
Every time we had a session weekly, she would end it. Okay, so what are you doing for yourself this week? Mind, body, and spirit. So I'd have to give her a list of one of each of those things. So like mind, I'd say, and she'd let some shit slide, but I really, if I say workout was gonna be body and mind, she
You know,
sometimes she'd like,
nigga,
so,
that
sometimes she'll be on that, but sometimes she'll let it slide. If I razzle dazzle, put a little extra wording in there, let her know how I'm feeling and why, you
yeah.
know. But for the most part, she made me distinguish. Like, okay, for my mind, what are you gonna do? Whether it's learning something, whether I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a massage, it's gonna help stress, you know. You know what I'm saying? She'd be like, whether you gotta make love to yourself. I'm like, that's different from me, and I think like like, you feel me? Like I don't know about all that.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know about all that. But the other shit, you know, I take care of my and body would be like working out, get a massage. I'll tell her I'm gonna do some yoga tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying? She just make me be creative on what I can do for myself, you know. And spirit, and I'll say like, oh, I'm gonna tune into this church, or you know, just see what that vibe is like. And she knew where I was as far as like the difference between like God and religion for me. But I still like certain energies and certain lessons are can be valuable, you know. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, or you know, I'm gonna really just take a whole day to myself and just go kayaking, and that's gonna be my spirit thing. You know, I just
Okay.
enjoy smoke some weed. You know,
Yeah,
she was cool with all that.
absolutely.
So all that type of shit, you know, were my answers to her questions, and so that just got me in the habit too of like, what can I do for self care? You know,
Absolutely. I love that. For real. I think
type
that's
shit.
so dope. Like, I think that's dope. And I think it's
Thank
dope
you.
that you go to therapy
Went to
or
therapy.
went to therapy. That's
Yeah,
really dope.
had
How
to.
long were you going to therapy for?
It was close to a year, probably like
Okay.
9 months, something like that. So it was cool. Yeah.
So do you feel like that was worth it going?
Oh yeah, and the shit was free, so it was like super worth
Really?
it. Yeah, I had it,
Okay.
whatever my insurance I had, you know what I'm saying, and it was definitely worth it. It was all online. We went Zoom calls, so I would do it at the office or do it
Okay.
wherever, you know what I'm saying.
Was it a black therapist?
No, she was white.
Okay.
She was white. I went through a whole personality and like mindset behavior test,
Mm-hmm.
and so based on that test and what I wanted to accomplish through therapy, they paired me with somebody. So it
Mm.
was more so like they paired me with someone mentally versus culturally, but she did understand. You know what I'm saying? Like there are times that I brought up like my childhood and growing up with shit with my dad being messed up, ooh, and I was talking about my mom and her story. She's like, and being a black mom in a white neighborhood, and like you know, so she knew she couldn't really understand, but she understood. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
so it was nice. I don't know if I should put her name in it. Her name was Ashley. I'm not gonna tell her whole name, but
Yeah, yeah.
real nice lady, and she was just about her shit. You know what I'm saying? Just the way she asked me questions. I told her I wanted to be more assertive with my speaking and certain, just a lot of different things. You know what I mean? And I'm still working on those things, especially because I enjoy other stuff that
Yeah.
makes me escape. You know what I'm saying? In a slight way, like I'm
Mhm.
not over here banging henny and shit and fucked up. You
Yeah.
know, in a slight way. But she really helped me accomplish those goals. You know, and so I appreciate her. You know, I appreciate that experience. Therapy was. I think everybody who's been through something, which is really everybody, should try it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just try it. Like if it's not for you, are you making excuses or is it really not for you? You know?
Absolutely. And I wish more would just invest in it. I'm just happy that we're talking about it more and more people are like, oh yeah, I was therapy. You know, and it's becoming like a regular conversation
Yeah.
versus you know what's wrong with you.
Right.
You know, people automatically think when talk about therapy that like something's wrong.
Yeah, for that, I always try to do what's best. My spirit has always been golden. You know what I'm saying? I never been worried about that. It was more about like my human body.
Yeah,
Started learning about nutrition. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
what you eat. If you're not eating good food, then how are you loving yourself? You know, like
Yeah, we talk about that because I really do, and I'm a big believer in that now. I've definitely changed my diet a lot too. But you've been doing your, diet changing, feeding your kids, good food and everything like that, and you feel better spiritually, mentally, changing your diet.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part for you? Do you still eat meat now, or
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So what's been some of the hardest moments for you as you tried to kind of like change your diet?
So a long, long time ago, I noticed certain religions and people who had certain spiritual practices didn't eat pork. And it was some things about pork, especially if I'm in the islands, if I'm in Puerto Rico and it's a farm raised pig and they make a nice dish, I'm eating it. You feel me? Like it's an animal raised with love. You feel me? In America, where this shit is like systematically, they're systematically raising pigs and feeding them whatever is the cheapest and whatever's going to bring the most profit. These animals are scared. They're in confined spaces. They get slaughtered and killed in terrible ways. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit. So I looked at all of that, plus how many religions and people of certain spiritual beliefs didn't eat pork. So I started there. And that was probably the hardest one for me.
Okay.
That and like pork tenderloins and like some and some like braised, what I'm saying, like all type. I never fuck with pork chops for real, but all like just like pork tenderloin, especially on the grill, like and it was times even after eating pork, like I was at my boy Jose's barbecue and his dad made some shit and I thought it was turkey. I swear to God, I did. No, I swear. Because they got these turkey tenderloins that are about the same size and shit. And I'm eating them. This shit fine. And he was like, puerco. I'm puerco. I'm like, shit, give me another piece. Fuck it. We on one. I've already done it. But I know that was quality. It was made with love, at least, whether it was raised with love, who knows. But like, and when I changed that shit, and stopped eating it, right away, certain things mentally started clearing up. Like right away, lifted instantly. And so like I was like, okay, and I still fucked with red meat sometimes, but then I started to wean off of that. Only high quality, certain burger. This one place in the city that has this fire ass burger, I would eat it twice a year, and that'd be my red meat for the year. Okay. And then last 2 years, I've had a little bit more here and there, more so because I'm working out and it's hard to gain as much protein and BCAAs and like it's a lot as far as like building a physique that I like about certain types of meat, but primarily plant-based. But anyway, so yeah, I started with the pork and read a book called Urban Monk. I forget, it's a doctor that made the book. He studied Eastern and Western medicine for like 40 years. He has like 3 different doctorates, you know what I'm saying, has traveled abroad. And so he brought like Eastern medicine here. And he's like how to live an Eastern cultural, spiritual life in a way, but in Western civilization. And so he talked about how certain foods and scientifically proven will lower and raise your frequency, like the frequency of your body type shit. And so beef, if raised well and raised with love, can be grounding, a very grounding experience. It's not a bad thing. It's bad in excess because it clogs the arteries. But really, if you were probably eating the best beef in the world, I'm sure that wouldn't be as much of an issue. But that's neither here nor there. Chicken, other types of meat, same thing, but lower your frequency. And so vegetables, nuts, not so much, like nuts and beans, nuts and beans, not so much because they're not like live things, you know what I'm saying? But like anything that's green, your fruits, all your kale, your greens, all that type of stuff, elevates your spirit, it puts you in an alkaline state, as Dr. Sebi would talk about, And so, so I don't know what the fuck. I'm just enjoying myself, trying to spit as much shit as I can because I don't do this shit often. You know what I'm saying? I hopefully you chop it up into like decipherable pieces.
We gonna run the whole shit.
Decipherable pieces type shit.
No, I mean, I like to shoot the shit. I like to conversate, and I feel like you're somebody that just does multiple things, and you just try to live righteously for you. But I'm big on definitely food and diet and just putting goodness in your body.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very big thing. We getting old. all these bad habits people been doing all these years, hey, it's never too late to start cleansing yourself. Like it's never too late to just do it. And you know, you just got to think about generational curses and wanting to just set a new bloodline for your family. You know, when I have kids, I don't want them to even experience some of the types of foods that I experienced as a kid. I want your kids healthy and they go to school or whatever, they go meet kids, you know, they're gonna try pizza, they're gonna do whatever. But in my house, I would like for them to know I can eat these types of foods and be healthy and be good and I'll be all right. I'm the only person in the house that don't eat like a lot of meat anymore. And whenever I'm, you know, with the fam, they don't give a fuck. About it. But I had to be like, grandma's from Alabama. So there, that's that chitlins.
Yeah, that's Alabama, right?
Tuskegee,
and then somewhere in Tennessee.
All
our black culture, black people, you know.
You know, and it's like it's not shitting on the culture. It's just you know,
we gotta shift it. We gotta shift it. You know, the culture is great, the flavor, the seasonings, all that shit. You feel like, but it could be implemented in different ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I ain't no fucking soul food chef. You feel me? Shout out Law Cannon. I'm about to message him. I'm about to message his ass, but look, we need some vegan versions of this shit, bro. For real. You know what I'm saying?
I know if you do chefs, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna have to put me on.
I love that.
Definitely.
But no, we've been chopping it up, shooting the shit, apparently. Talking good shit, which I enjoy, because I definitely feel like you're somebody, you know, like I said, we have, you know, I'm going to leave you alone.
Yeah,
now, I don't know if you've been, you know what? Whatever.
I need to eat.
I don't know if you've been tuned into, like, the Jelani Day situation, and then Daniel Robinson, he's another black boy that is missing right now, and he hasn't been found. So, you know, it's a really unfortunate situation, but it's very common. Unfortunately, you know, this is something we see a lot. And you being a black man, you know, seeing it regularly, realistically right now, what is like something we can do to better protect ourselves? Because obviously, you know, they're not going to save us.
Yeah.
So I have a little brother. I have an older brother. I have black men that I love very dearly. So anytime I see a black man in an end like this, it fucks me up because that could have been my brother. Could have been my dad, could have been anybody. So, you know, what is something realistically you do to just kind of like, I don't know, protect yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is something that you realistically feel like black men, black kids, we can do to just protect ourselves right now?
I think a lot of this is like real spiritual warfare. You know what I'm saying? Doing your best to be the best version of yourself. I feel like a lot of times, and not in these cases necessarily, but a lot of times, we're just so accustomed to living like dilly lives, you know, not really trying to progress and just living in certain things as people. And I think if we as a community can work together, like I shout out the Black Lives Matters movement, because they are like the first movement to really put anything on the map. And they, you know, the contracts with the NBA, the NFL, like that's huge. That's huge shit to be able to push that message forward. And I think if we continue to do that, I mean, it's can't live afraid. You know what I'm saying? So if we just continue to live our lives in faith, do our best to live our lives with much prayer, you feel me, and just attract great things in our lives, do the best to feed ourselves good things, make sure we're operating at a certain frequency, educating ourselves is huge, how to deal with certain situations, you know what I mean? You know, I believe in self-defense and all of that shit too, but it's like in situations where it's like a one-on-one type thing, like, you know, like it's like, so I just try not to point to like superficial answers or like easily attainable ones. Like getting a gun and shooting somebody, that's easily attainable. That's an easy thing to do. I feel like, you know, we just got to continue shifting and uplifting each other, keep spreading the word, keep a lookout, you know what I'm saying? Just be aware of your surroundings. I mean, all the rules to life, you feel me, at the end of the day. But, you know, it's very unfortunate what's going on with those boys. The one was missing his organs and shit, right? I'm pretty sure.
Well, his mother made a statement and actually said that they weren't missing.
Great. Okay. So that, I mean, not that that makes it better, but it
Right.
makes it less of like a somebody's organ harvesting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like that's completely different versus like an unnecessary killing.
Facts.
You know,
I
are
agree.
you talking like super sick
I
sick
agree.
versus like fuck this one? You know,
Yeah,
like
I
it's,
agree.
you know.
I
So
agree.
I'm glad that it's not getting to that level of thought and it's
Mhm.
not that at that level because that's some chaotic shit to be dealing with.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, we just live with faith. You know, walk about the door with a motherfucking smile on your face. If you get pulled over, treat their ass with respect. You know what I'm saying? You know how many tickets I got out of just from not trying to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on my way from here. No, sir. I ain't got, you know, whatever. Like, just, you know, like, shit. I'm a salesman then sometimes. Shit, I mean,
Gotta put that voice on real quick.
yes, sir. Okay. No, but, yeah, so I think just all of the above, you know.
So make sure that you do it some type of way.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel that looking out, I feel like we gotta love each other a little better. We gotta be there to just look out for each other more. You know, really be a little more overbearing when it comes to our people because you never know. Like
Communicate with your people, you know,
real.
check in.
Yeah.
But it's that's sad. Like back in the day, little boys used to be able to walk home and like you know what I'm saying. So it's just like, how do you know like I don't know. I got kids, you know, so I wonder like, do I want to be the parent that's overly,
You have to think about that.
you know, like
Yeah.
overly. I'm gonna pick my daughter right at this time
Mhm.
or do. And I think that's a big thing too. If we change our thought process and get out of this negative thinking, we attract better things into our life. We speak better. You know what I'm saying? We stop listening to music about killing motherfuckers. So then when we come out the crib, we thinking about somebody killing us, and then 5 years later we get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that that's what happened in these cases, but it's far too common. You know, and it's like I think it starts with listening to better music. All that shit. It's like I said, spiritual warfare, and that's why I started with that because when your spirit's aligned and when you where you're supposed to be and you're doing what's best for your frequency and doing your best to represent God in a positive light, you know what I'm saying? Like that's major. And I think that because it's so rare that blessings are really available. You feel me? Like they out there for motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta make a change, make a shift, you know. And like you said, love each other,
Love each other, yeah.
love yourself.
Love yourself. For real.
Like serious.
That shit be fucking me up. I really be feeling some type of way about that because I love black men. I'm surrounded by black men. I don't have any sisters, so I just got brothers and just a lot of black men that I've been around my whole life. So anytime I see any black man that's missing or got murdered or anything like that on TV, I just instantly ask other black men, are you all right? Are you okay? Because that's very traumatic. But that's another conversation.
My boy says, teach kids about stranger danger. That's huge. Super basic. I almost forgot it, but that's like major. Make sure your kids are aware.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. You have to have those conversations because unfortunately we live in a sick ass world.
Right.
And you can be positive thinking, obviously, but you have to be realistic about the people that you're around. If there's hundreds of sex offenders that do not register every single year, and they're living right by your schools, right by your kids, family members, whatever the case is, it's just about, really creating that community for me, that village of people that you can kind of rely on sometimes. You know what I'm saying? If maybe you late getting the kids and the neighbors, they thorough, know them, you know what I'm saying?
Takes a village, like my mom would always
real
say.
shit.
Yeah,
I mean, for me growing up, that was the vibe because I used to be kicking it. I used to be kicking it.
Yeah.
But my mom and dad knew where I was at. It wasn't like, right, we're not gonna let you go out. They're gonna let me go out, but they knew I was either here, or here. So
that's facts.
My
mom was on that too.
For real?
Yeah, she was on that heavy.
Yeah,
that's definitely been a blessing. She'll recognize I was gravitating towards older people that were involved with certain things. She'll keep me from that. She's from the South Side, She all around the GDs and shit, you know what I'm saying? So she knows her shit, you know, and so she'll see, ooh. And then she was very big on like meeting people's parents. That's another thing, and I think that's huge.
I agree.
I don't think about it probably now, or didn't think about it first because my kids aren't having play dates like that. They're not old enough, but I'm sure as they get older, I'm definitely gonna be on that. You know what I'm saying? Making sure I know who is who, you know, what's going on. And I think it's tougher in like inner city areas, you know, which is very unfortunate. And there's a lot of shit as far as like red zoning and like just shit within this country that has made that shit possible, you know, and made the hood what it is. I think we know about it now though, and we definitely got to do our best to get out of it, not make excuses. And I'm very empathetic to the situation, you know, knowing that's where my mom comes from and many people come from, but seeing her story and what she's accomplished, everybody has 24 hours in a day, you know? And so I think with our kids, it's got to be the same thing. Like, it's just, like, you got to teach your kids as much as possible. Teach them the shit that you learn late in life. I'm teaching them shit. I'll talk to my 3-year-old daughter, and she has full conversations with me. They say the average word length of a sentence for a kid her age is 3 or 4 words. She be talking to me 7 words, 10 words, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes be rambling, but sometimes she really be making sense. And I'm like, okay, you know? And so they understand, and we limit them by limiting them in our minds and saying like, oh, you're just a kid. And no, the fuck, they're not a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a little human, you know, and you want to underwrite them and try to avoid from talking to them about certain things, or you're going to expose them to that. That doesn't make them not a kid. I feel like if they can grow up and make money as they get older and things like that, they can stay a kid forever. And their version of a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like if we all grew up with $30 million or we made it ourselves, you know, like the freedom of choice and the freedom of time is so valuable, you know? And so we got to teach our kids self-defense is huge. I did take karate as a kid, but I just never had to use it, you know? I feel like that's why it's, you know, it's very important to, look out 100%. Communicate. As parents, we have to do our thing. You know what I'm saying? We have to make sure that we're watching over our kids. I think at the end of the day, though, it's also, like you said, first and foremost, loving each other. Because like a lot of the negative things that we do to ourselves is because no one else is loving us, and so we don't know how to love us. You know, type shit.
I agree. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. We don't know how to love ourselves. Now we want to just lash out on everybody else, lash out on innocent kids. Like, woo, Jesus. I want to show the shirt. Can you grab the shirt real quick before we get on? This has been deep, y'all. Like, for real. Shout out to everybody that's been tuned in, because it's been serious. It's been serious. And I just wanted to dive into something because, you know, we got to have these conversations. We are the ancestors now, as they would say. So when you're somebody that's an influencer, you have a certain type of, gratitude from people, and they gravitate towards you. You got to make sure that you're speaking on shit that's wrong, you know, with our culture, because the only way it's going to get better is if we try to fix it. So, you know, I'm not trying to preach, obviously, on here, but, you know, I work in for organizations, so I'm very big on the betterment of Black people. However, that needs to be done. But he brought me a shirt. Y'all know I love gifts. You know I love gifts. I'm official now. So here, y'all. Just say, ooh, it's so crispy. Y'all can see it crispy. Zay Stone. Stop playing with me.
Appreciate you for having me.
Okay, yes. I'm so happy you came. Like, this is super lit, y'all. Y'all see me?
Doing it.
I'm gonna wear it to make sure I take pictures too. I love stuff. So thank you. No, I appreciate you.
You try it on right now.
Yeah, I'll try it on. Thanks. Thank you for coming on Pillow Talk Podcast, though, for real. I appreciate you. I know you're a busy person, so I appreciate you taking some time out of your, life to come and chop it up with me.
Of course.
For real.
It's my pleasure.
I think you're super dope. I always thought you were dope. You're doing your thing.
Thank
and
you.
I just love your whole mind state that you're putting out. Keep doing you, Black men, and inspire other Black men to want to follow pursuit, for real.
Appreciate that.
Okay, seriously.
I'm gonna do my best.
For real. That's a lot of pressure. How much pressure on you just had?
Pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah, you can handle it. I think you can handle the pressure.
Yeah.
I think you can handle it. Thanks to everybody that tuned in to Pillow Talk Podcast, of course. Y'all were commenting, sharing, hearting. We love it. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you're not subscribed to Pillow Talk Podcast, make sure that you do stream it on all major platforms, including iHeartRadio. We on YouTube, Robbie and Vet, all that good stuff. So don't miss it. Okay. Sending love and light to everybody that tuned in tonight, man. I appreciate y'all so much. I got his IG
Thank
scrolling,
y'all.
so
Yeah.
he said just hit him up.
I've been hiding behind this mic. So, let me stop.
His IG scrolling on the bottom, so make sure you guys tap in, okay? Because I got it on the bottom there. So all of the business stuff, y'all might need a job. He might need some people to come in later. We don't know. You gotta make it happen, okay? Sending love and light to everybody. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Love.